What's up guys, it's Atlas here. I'm back with another video today. Today we are going to be talking in this first part about EA English and my first impressions of, her AI voice bank versus her CS7 voice bank. So I've been working on this cover of Jin's Imagination Forest, which should be going up later today or tomorrow, along with this video. Today if I get it up, but if not, tomorrow. But anyway, as I was working on it, I was just comparing and contrasting the things that I find easier to do with this new voice bank versus what I can do with the CS7 voice bank, as you can see here. And then we can go switch to AI here. So what I'm going to be doing with this video is going over the pros and cons of owning EA English AI, and then not necessarily like, hey, I'm telling you to get it, but just a review in general. So first we're going to start off with the pros. Okay, we're back, and we are going to be starting off in the CeVIO CS7, and I'm going to start talking about the pros first of EA English. So the pros of EA English, actually I guess we'll just go ahead and start CeVIO AI for that. Some of the pros of EA English AI is she has slightly improved clarity, meaning that the words that she says are more understandable. They sound less muffled and less like she's singing with cotton in her mouth than she would with her CS7. And I will let you guys hear that part here. Disclaimer: this CCS has been edited both in timing of the consonants and vowels and also in the pitch parameter, and that is not present in the I have the same file opened in CS7, but in CS7 only the pitch parameters have still been edited. I guess when you try to open it in an older version, it doesn't transfer the timing of the consonants and vowels. So just a disclaimer for that. This is just an example to show you guys how she handles high notes and basic transition capabilities. So starting off in CS7, just to show off the improved clarity. Well, I guess it would be better to show that off in CS7. I keep switching back and forth. So just to show you guys the improved clarity from CS7 to CeVIO AI.
The breeze of summer knocks on my door and I reach out the window to find the little chicks from the bus bay echoes missing in the sky.
And then the same first line in CeVIO AI.
The breeze of summer knocks at my door and I reach out the window to find the little chicks from the bus that echoes missing in the sky.
So as you can hear, it's a bit better. The main thing I guess people notice between the two is that EA English EA English AI sounds higher in pitch, just baseline. I don't really see an issue with that. You can always mess around with the I guess this is the version of gender factor in CeVIO AI. I was going to say CeVIO, yeah. So you can always mess with that to get the desired result. It's not really that big of an issue, for me anyway. So there is slightly improved clarity. There's also CeVIO AI's minor auto-tuning, which is something that it does not just with English voice banks, but Japanese voice banks like Yukari. I don't need to show you that because I don't have a Japanese VSQX. But even if I were to take away the tuning parameters for this, so I will play this one time and then I will delete my tuning edit so that way you can hear how it sounds with CeVIO AI's base auto tuning.
The breeze of summer knocks at my door and I reach.
So the breeze of summer knocks at my door and I reach, and then I get rid of all the tuning on this first half of this line.
The breeze of summer knocks at my door and I reach.
So as you can hear, it's not really too different. So little edits here and there can bring out what the editor already can do for you baseline. And another improvement I see is the easier time putting in lyrics. So as you can see, I have the breeze of summer. You can see a little hyphen here on summer, and that's because, going into my next part, I don't believe CS7 did this, and I will check right now just to make sure. But if I were to have a word like summer, oh, okay, it did do this. I guess it did it differently because, yeah, it did the vowel. I meant the vowel, the consonant differently. But before, unless this is an update, I don't think it's an update. But anyway, it's an easier time inputting lyrics because of her improved pronunciation. Some of the things that she used to say just sounded a little slightly off, like not a way that an English speaker would say it. But that's been improved here. You can also input lyrics easier, either by right-clicking and inputting them collectively, and it'll just, put them in as whatever. She also handles multi-syllabic words easier, so if you were to put multiple, she separates them by that. You can also do the same thing, just pull. And if you press Control P, you can see the how she would how she would pronounce each part of a multisyllabic word. And just to go back to show you how it will look. If you were not to do that, it's pretty much almost the same except for a different vowel sound. So, another improvement is that she handles high notes better. So let's go ahead and move our track to chorus here. Here we go. So we're going to start here and go on to the chorus, and then you can hear how she handles high notes a little better. Anything basically from G onward I would count as a high note, because before I would usually avoid that range because she would sound struggling for lack of a better word. She sounded like she's struggling to sing.
That I read, so if I dream a world that I never will see, would you forgive those childish thoughts of my please? Softly and it had followed me within this crazy world that I was born into. There was life inside me, ever so faintly beating. Tell me out in that world so wide, is there a future that I dream one day will come for me? Someday I'll win again. One day I'm sure it'll knock at my door.
So as you can hear there, she sounds not, I won't say comfortable, but a much easier time handling those high notes than she did with her CS7 voice bank. And just for a comparison, I am going to be playing the exact same part for you guys to hear the difference in how she handles high notes in CS7. So that was CeVIO AI, this is CS7. This is the difference between how she handles high notes.
Softly sailed it had followed me within this crazy world that I was born into. There was life inside me, ever so faintly beating. Tell me out in that one side wide, is there a future that I dream one day would come for me? Today I'll win again. One day I'm sure it'll knock at my door.
So it's very noticeable here how she struggles to handle high notes and how it gets really muffled and almost like she's not even trying to say the word when she gets into that range. And that has been greatly improved with the CeVIO AI version of English. So there's not really much of a difference between the two, but if I were to recommend which one you get, definitely go for CeVIO AI's English AI if you have CeVIO AI. Because the improvements, while minuscule, may not seem much, but it makes a way better product in my opinion. You are more than welcome to get CS7 English, and you'll just have to do a bit more work. But I do like the difference between the two. I definitely would keep using English AI over her CS7 just because of the improvements that are present. Um, but now we're going to get into the cons. So, the same issues that present in CS7 persist in CeVIO AI. And what I mean by that mostly is the timing. As you can see from these yellow bars, that shows what I've edited here from the pink and purple ones. You still have to manually edit the timing of many of the lyrics because this weird thing that IA does is slur from one word to the next, or a word that comes after the previous one will start, and then it'll be like a really weird transition. So I'm gonna play just this one part right here. Softly said, it had followed me. Basically this whole first line. And then I'm gonna get rid of my edits so you can hear how she sounds without those timing edits.
Softly said it had followed me within this crazy world that I was born into. There was life inside me.
And then I'm gonna get rid of my I'm going to get rid of my timing edits just so you can see how that here is without it. So here, there, and here, there, just to get rid of all those yellow bars that show my edits. So you heard how it sounded with the timing parameter edits. Now this is how it sounds without it.
Softly said it had followed me within this crazy world that I was born into. There was life inside me.
So it might not sound very different on this one part, which is probably it doesn't make it that good of an example. But in the beginning, you can definitely hear the difference there, where softly said, it like kind of blurs into the very end of soft. And if you have words that are like really close together like this, it had followed me. Basically like notes that are like four bars long that are like really short. You definitely are gonna want to like edit the timing parameter of that, or she'll just slur through all those words and it just won't sound good. She did the same thing in CS7, and that's what I had a really big issue with. Once you edit these though, she sounds so much better, so much clearer. It won't always sound good with every single edit, so definitely always listen out for how you want it to sound. But in general, you're gonna want to do some some timing editing here when you're working on a project, just so she sounds more clear. And yes, it is a bit more work, but it's definitely worth it. It doesn't take too long in my experience with both CS7 and CeVIO AI. Like, it's just another part of tuning, to be honest. What's the next part of the cons? Another con is she still can't really handle high notes the best. You heard that she was able to handle them, but even with fine, get out of this perimeter so okay, so right here, even with her improved handling of high notes, it still doesn't sound the best compared to something like Symphony or Vocaloid. So even right here, will come find me. Yeah, I struggle just as much as she does with this right here. So better than CS7, but still a noticeable issue that it gets kind of squeaky and muffled right here, but less so than her CS7. And even this is not something I would do with the actual cover, but just to show you, if I were to move this up a little bit and play it again, she would struggle even more. But not many voices will have a range this big. But think of stuff like Utao, Vocaloid, Symphony. Even if you were to play something this high, it would be able to handle it a bit better. Oh god, that's probably from the tuning. So it got stretched all the way up here. But anyway, you get the point. She handles high notes better, but it's still not the best. One more thing that goes into not really timing, but just editing pronunciation. you have to sometimes remove the ending consonants of words for cleaner transitions. So what I mean by that is, where is an example? Okay, so actually right here is a good example. The words "will come find me." As you can see, I've gotten rid of the M on come and the D on find, because when you're messing around with the timing parameter, you're not always going to get the best results. And if you keep those hard ending consonants, it's going to have a weird, when you play it back, it's going to have a weird sound to it. So instead of "will come find me," it's going to sound more like "will come, will come find me." Almost like she's like not even saying the entire word. So the easiest way to mitigate that, just get rid of the ending consonant. For most of the time, you'll still be able to know what she's saying without having the ending consonant. So again, "will come find me." Do I have another example of this? Today, I'm trying to see if I have any more. Yeah. So yeah, you get the point. Sometimes you just gotta remove an ending consonant. Sometimes she also won't really pronounce some words. Like I've noticed with the air type sound, like air, there, stare. She does not like to say it. Um, I'll go to the very beginning of this just to show an example. So as you can see right here, I have stare, but the word I put here is star. Why did I do that? Because it's easier to get that beginning consonant sound for st. But when I do try to do stuff like stare, for one thing, I believe she tries to separate it into two notes. So yeah, so she separates it into two notes, and it doesn't even sound good.
Stare.
But if you were to do the same thing, but just put star, of course she's gonna say star, not stare. Move it up a little bit. Star. Star. And then I press Control P, and you can see this is the vowel sound she's gonna say with star, but we want stare. So ste, that would be EH. So that's literally all you're doing. You can see the English phonetic palette right here. This is like all the vowel sounds that she'll do along with consonants. So if you're trying to get her to say a word, but she's not saying it how you want, you can always put in a different word and then open up Control P, double click on the pronunciation here, bring up the English phonetic chart, and you can play around with the sounds that you want instead for both consonants at the bottom and vowels at the top. So this is what I like to do for things with the air sound. I just put the H. So instead of star or the weird two-note stare that doesn't always sound good, especially with smaller notes, I can just do this. And it sounds just the same. That's pretty much it. My overall first impressions of AI English AI, I do like this voice bank a lot. I do like it. It's enjoyable to use. I knew I was still probably going to have some of the same issues because while it does sound improved, it doesn't sound vastly different, like a dramatic difference between the two voice banks. So I don't really have an issue having to do the same edits I've been doing. It's just an easier time doing them, where it doesn't, I don't have to like figure out a puzzle piece every time I'm doing something. I'm already familiar with what her strengths and weaknesses are. But yeah, I would recommend this product if you are looking to get CeVIO AI and you want an English voice bank. Obviously this is the only one, so I would definitely recommend picking it up. But if you don't want CeVIO AI, or you only have CS7 but you still want to get AI English, I definitely still would recommend CS7 AI English, because you still would have to, the problems will persist. You might have to find some workarounds, but it's still a really good product. And I think the one thing a lot of people don't do when they use IA is this timing parameter thing. This is going to be your best friend. You should never have a project where you're not editing a shit ton in this parameter. You If you're working on a project, whether it be a cover or original song, you should be in this parameter, making sure you are moving right here, not the bars at the top, but the at the bottom where the actual vowel syllable is, because you have a lot more movement with that versus like you can only do only move so much with these like bars right here. But yeah. So those are my overall first impressions of English AI. Really good product. Has some issues, but what product doesn't? Every product has issues, but they're not issues that will make it unenjoyable to use. So if you enjoyed this, go ahead and leave a like. We're going to be right back because I did say we're going to be doing a small mini discussion of CeVIO Pro, and I'm going to be talking about that real quick just so we can clear up some misconceptions, because I see a lot of misconceptions, especially on Twitter, about what CeVIO Pro is and what it isn't. So we'll be right back with that last part of the video. And yeah. Hey guys, and we're back. So now we're going to be going on to the CeVIO Pro discussion part of this video. I opened up, this is the official CeVIO website, as you can see right here, just so I can get the official CeVIO Pro information for you guys. I'm using DeepL translator to translate it. It has a much better translation than stuff like Google Translate and whatever. So, as you can see from right here, Techno Speech Plans develops and sells software as a sister brand of CeVIO. CeVIO Pro is basically a sister brand. The alpha version of CeVIO Pro is free of charge, meaning you do not have to pay for it. Yes, there is talks of CeVIO Pro being subscription based, but for right now, there is no subscription, and the only voice available for this, that it's an alpha, Chris A, is not, you do not have to pay or have a subscription to use her. She is also free of charge. Both the software and the voice are free of charge. Let me say it again. Both the software and the voice are free of charge, because everyone seems to have this misconception that you have to pay for it and it's going to end up like Adobe. And whether or not that is true or not, as of right now, CeVIO is free price that you can see right here, free. You just have to make an account, and the only voice available is also free. Now, does this mean that CeVIO is going to switch to being pro only and make no more voice banks? That's also not true. You know why? Because I read. As you can see, again, from the website, right here, there's going to be a Suzuki Sudumi song and I believe talk bank. Let me go ahead and double check. This is why we have translators. So, talk and song voice of CeVIO AI Suzuki Sudumi will be released. It is scheduled to be released in the second half of 2022. What year is this? 2022, that's this year. We are planning to release an evolved talk voice and song bank for the first time, because she's only ever had a CS7 or even, I think, just basic CeVIO editor talk voice bank. So, again, they're still developing voices. I believe there's even another voice coming out for CeVIO. This, whoever this girl is. She is, third-party voice for CeVIO AI. Again, not pro, AI. Now available. The starter package of Musical Sekai is available for pre-order. Pre-sales will take place April 29th to 30th. I don't know when she releases. You can find more info on her website. You can also use DeepL to translate the text right here. I'm going to try to get just some basic info just to see if they talk about a release date for her. Again, she's going to have a song voice. CeVIO AI song voice, not CeVIO Pro, CeVIO AI song voice, and this is from the 28th, so this is barely like 2 weeks ago. So CeVIO Pro is really just a glorified VST that they're trying to get onto the Mac market, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who would like to use software like this who have Macs but cannot, because either it's not supported or maybe it's not good enough. So this is a good way for people to use it in their DAW. If they have a Mac, they can use it there. So I hope this clears up any misconceptions with CeVIO Pro right now. Do I want a subscription-based software? No. I like a one-time purchase that I can use standalone in an editor. I don't like VST stuff like CeVIO Pro, or what's the other one? It's the one Krypton has when you buy their stuff. It's the I'm about to say Clip Studio. No. Whatever the one that Krypton has that can also be used as a VST. I don't like that one either. I like stuff that can use standalone. But anyway, I hope this clears up misconceptions. I also hope you guys enjoyed this video. Rest assured, CeVIO is not switching solely to CeVIO Pro. I don't even think its Japanese audience would like that either, because a lot of the big popularity from CeVIO overseas comes from its talk voice banks and I believe narrations with games and stuff. So, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you're excited for any CeVIO stuff, go ahead and let me know as well. I believe we're still supposed to get Flower on CeVIO. I'm not sure if I don't see any new updates about that on the website. And you can usually see recent official news on the CeVIO.jp website, and I don't see anything about Flower being mentioned. So if we do get Flower, it probably won't be until very late this year or next year. If they announce anything, it'll be right here. Even if it's third party, they'll still have it on their website. But anyway, go ahead and leave a like if you like it. Tell me if you're excited about anything CeVIO related. If this clears up misconceptions that you had about CeVIO Pro being solely a subscription-based software, I hope that helped as well. There are still 2 voice banks planned for this year. We might even get more, because AI is the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed again. I keep saying it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.